Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome dear students. This is Miss Layla Al-Jihani. Inshallah today we will continue our unit 1. It's a good deal, isn't it? Okay. If we look at the title of our unit, it's related to our grammar inshallah today. Today we will cover lesson 3, the grammar, okay? If we want to recall what we covered in our previous lesson. In our previous lesson, we looked at some pictures and we listened to some conversation to people around the garage sale. We learned a new vocabulary. These are the list of vocabulary we learned and we match it with the pictures. And also we tried to classify the vocabulary into 3 categories. We did it together, like for cooking, we put the pots and pans and teapots, spoons, forks. For the cleaning, mops, vacuum cleaners, and for the repairing we have the screwdriver, the hammer, the chainsaw, and so on, okay? And also we covered pair work. In our pair work we practiced and imagined that we are in a garage sale and we asked each other questions in the garage sale, and we use the same type of questions we will cover in our grammar today, okay? So inshallah today by the end of the lesson you will be able to form tag questions to confirm information. You can use it with the affirmative and the negative. We will see the difference between the two. Also, we will be able to use negative questions to check for information or to express surprise, okay? Another thing we will cover, inshallah, we will use the phrase be able to express ability, okay? What does it mean? Inshallah, we will cover it today one by one, step by step. طيب, before we start, I gave you a homework, page 89, okay? Can you open your books, page 89, and let's check the answers together. In this exercise, you have some pictures and you have to match the vocabulary with the pictures. صح? You have a picture and you have to tell me what is the name of the things. Like if you see a picture of a ball, you can write ball down there. If you see a picture of a chair, you write a chair. So can we look at the pictures and write down the names of the items we can see in front of us in exercise 86? I'm sure you did it. Let's see the answers together. So for the first one, we have the first picture, we have a teapot. For picture 2, pliers. For 3, rocking chair. 4, teddy bear. 5, hammer. 6, fan. 7, we have a pot. 8, we have a saw. 9, we have a frying pan. 10, we have a screwdriver, okay? These are the items for the exercise in page 89, okay? Also, we have this exercise. Where do these items, so, we wrote the item, صح? Now we have to put it in the correct place. Complete the chart with the words from item A. طيب, يعني here we have the garage. What should we put from this exercise? We should put what? In the garage, we can put the pliers, we can put the saw, صح? So you have to put the vocabulary in the correct place, like the exercise we did in our previous lesson, to put it in the correct category. Okay, for the kitchen, what should we put? Okay, let's see the answers together. So for the garage, we have pliers, hammer, saw, screwdriver. For the kitchen, we have teapot, pot, frying pan. For the bedroom, we have a rocking chair, teddy bear, and a fan. These are the items if we put it in the correct places in our houses. Now, moving on to page 4, okay, we will start our grammar. As I said, look at the title. It's a good deal, isn't it? If we look at it's a good deal alone, is it a question? When I say it's a good deal, is this a question? No. طيب, when we say isn't it, we changed the sentence into a question, okay? So we call these tag questions. We call it tag questions. طيب, when do we use the tag question? We use it to check for information. We want to confirm, we say the information and we need a confirmation. This is when we use the tag question. When I say it's a good deal, I know it's a good deal. And this is a statement I make. But when I say it's a good deal, isn't it? I need a response, someone to confirm my idea or deny it. Some may say yes, some may say no, okay? طيب يلا, let's see how we form the tag questions. We form it, we have an affirmative sentence, a positive sentence. When we have a positive sentence, the tag will be negative. We have a negative tag, like our title. We have a positive statement, affirmative statement, and we have a negative tag, okay? But what if we have a negative sentence? If we have a negative sentence, we use a positive tag, the opposite, okay? We use a positive tag. Let's see the examples. You can see it also on your book. With the affirmative sentence, we use the negative. Look at the example. Your name is Ali Khalid. Isn't it? You would say no. You would say yes. It depends on you, your answer. You were born in Abha. Here we have the past. So we use the same. Weren't you? We use the same helping verb here. The verb to be, we use the same. Okay? Like here is, we used isn't. We have where. You were born in Abha, weren't you? Okay? And here, you live. Is this a helping verb? No, it's not a helping verb. This is a verb in present simple. So we need a helping verb. So we write don't you. Don't you. Okay? I can say she lives. She lives. I add an S here. She lives in the Dammam. Doesn't she? Doesn't she? So with the present simple, you use do or does, okay? For the negative tag or positive tag to form a tag question. And here we have the past tense. You studied in Dhahran. Didn't you? We use did with the past. And here we have the verb, the helping verb have. Have graduated, present perfect. You have graduated, haven't you? I use have. Haven't you? You are going to work in Riyadh, aren't you? So we use helping verb if we can't see a helping verb like the ones we saw in present simple, then we use do or does to form the question, similar to what we do with the present simple tense. Okay? Now, if we have a negative sentence, we use positive tag, affirmative tag. Okay? طيب, Maryam isn't American. Is she? Look at the difference. We have the negative here. So here we use a positive tag. Maryam isn't American. Is she? So we have is here. We used it here. And she wasn't, this is the past, she wasn't born in the United States. Was she? So we use the same helping verb. She doesn't speak English. Does she? So I use the same, does. She didn't work in a school. Did she? She hasn't lived in the United States. Has she? Okay, also here present perfect. She isn't going to move here, is she? So with the negative sentence, we use the tag will be positive. If we have a positive sentence, we use a negative tag, the opposite, okay? طيب, احنا we learned how do we use the questions. How can we respond to these questions? How can we reply to these statements? Here, as I told you, if we have in the sentence is, the tag will be isn't. And the opposite also, where, weren't, live. It's a it's a main verb. It's a present simple. We say don't. Lives, doesn't. Studied, didn't. Have graduated, haven't. Has graduated, hasn't. And are, aren't. Okay? So how do we respond to these questions? To agree with the negative tag, we answer with yes. يعني إيش يا مس؟ Here we have a negative tag, صح؟ طيب, when I say you are from Riyadh, aren't you? If you are agreeing, saying that you are from Riyadh, then you say yes. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. To agree with the negative, to confirm the information that you are approving the information, you use yes. طيب, what if we have an affirmative tag? Okay? With the affirmative tag, with the positive tag, the answer will be no, even if you are agreeing. Okay? You aren't from Riyadh, are you? No, I'm not. I'm from Jeddah. Okay? When you are agreeing that you are not from Riyadh, you are agreeing with this information. So you say, no, I'm not. Okay? You respond with no. Okay? Now let's see this exercise. Inshallah, it will make everything easier. Look at exercise A. Check the information, complete the tag questions. Okay? Complete the tag questions. Pause the video, try to answer the questions, and I will try to help you with highlighting the helping verbs. I highlighted the verbs so you can change it. Okay? So these toys are in good condition. So how can I form the tag question? Here we have a positive statement, صح؟ طيب, I should write here the tag should be positive or negative? Negative. So how would I change it? I would say, aren't you? Oh, aren't, not you. These toys, aren't they? Okay? And we have, you have had, so we have had. Garage sales before. Haven't you? Okay, this is how we form the questions. Try to do the rest of it together with your friends and try to do it and try to compare your answers. Try to convince your friend with your answers and let's see it together. So for the first one, as we did it, aren't they? I added a negative tag because here we have a positive. Here we have a positive. We write a negative. طيب, here, number 3, we have a negative. How would we write it? We write a positive tag. Did he? Okay, we have did and he. They weren't able to sell tools, were they? I write it here. She found a set of nice crystal glasses. Found is in the past tense. Didn't she? Okay. That's vacuum cleaner works. Okay, doesn't it? So works, it's a verb in simple present. So we need does to write down the negative tag. We have lots of bargains here today, don't we? This here have, yeah, miss, why you didn't write haven't we? Can someone tell me? Here, we said we have lots of bargains here today. Have here, is it present perfect? No. Have here is the main verb. The main verb is in the present. Have here, it's not a helping verb like in the present perfect. Have here, it's a main verb. That's why we used don't we. Okay? Number 8, this lawnmower is really high tech, isn't it? Okay? Now let's move on to exercise B. Exercise B, write down some facts about your classmates that you think are correct. Then check the information with them. يعني إيش؟ يعني look around your class. You have to write down sentences, whether the sentences are positive or negative. Like for example, if you're talking to Muna, you are from Jeddah. Muna is from Jeddah, for example. Ahmed loves playing football. Write down sentences and then write down the tags and go ask your friend the questions. Listen to their response. Here we have an example. Your classmate was born in Dammam. This is the information. طيب, you will ask him or her, you were born in Dammam, weren't you? We have were and we have the negative tag. Yes, I was. Remember, how do we respond to the tag questions? Okay? You were born in Dammam, weren't you? Yes, I was. Okay? Now look at these statements. Ahmed plays football. Fahad has 2 brothers. Ali was born in Riyadh. Look at these statements and try to write down tag questions. Try to write it down. As an extra exercise here, it's just to help you. Write down the statements, write down the tag question, and then ask your friends the answers and look at their responses. Take 3 minutes to write it down, pause the video and write down the answers, and let's see it together here. طيب, here we have Ahmed, you play football, don't you? Okay, you play. Here we have Ahmed plays football. Ahmed, you play football, don't you? Fahad has 2 brothers. Fahad, you have 2 brothers. Have here, it's a main verb. Don't you? Ali was born in Riyadh. Ali, you were born in Riyadh, weren't you? Okay? This is how we form the tag questions. Now let's move on to the next part of our grammar, which is the negative questions. When do we use the negative questions? We use the negative questions to check information or to express surprise. We have 2 reasons: to check for the information or to express surprise. When you are surprised from something, then you use the negative questions. زي إيش يا miss? Isn't he tired of working there? Like if your brother or father is working in a place and you think he doesn't enjoy his job, for example, you would ask a question to check for your information or to express surprise that he is still working there. Isn't he tired of working there? And you are waiting for a response. Haven't you finished your homework yet? I'm surprised you didn't finish yet. So this is how I express it. Aren't you coming with us? Here, I'm waiting for a confirmation whether you are coming or not. Okay? Don't you live near the beach? So here we start the questions, yes, no question. The response should be yes or no. And it's in a negative form. We call it negative questions. Now for the exercise D, write negative questions for the following situations. You have situations like this one. You just bought a new cell phone. Imagine that you bought a new cell phone. Your friend is still deciding about whether to buy one or not. This is the situation. طيب, a question, I'm going to write it. Aren't you going to buy one too? This is the question. I use negative questions. Look at the first situation here in the exercise. You recognize an old friend at the mall. You see your friend at the mall and you know him. The friend doesn't recognize you. So when you recognize him, I know this person. But he or she, they don't recognize you. You should ask them a question in a negative form. You say, don't you remember me? صح? It's a negative question. You say, don't you remember me? And they will look at you and they will respond, oh, yes or no, sorry, can you? And they will ask questions to just know you, okay? And we have the second situation. Your friend is eating popcorn and is not offering you any. So he is eating or she is eating and they don't offer anything to you. How would you ask them the question? Aren't you going to offer me some popcorn? Okay? Instead of saying, give me some popcorn, you will ask using a negative questions. Okay, number 3, you are playing a board game. You want your friend to play the game too. You ask them a question. You want your friend to join the game. You ask them in a negative question. How can we form it? Yes, don't you want to play this game too? Okay? So this is how we form the question. Number 4, someone come and joined your group, greeting everyone but forget you. Someone came and he greeted everyone, said salam and shaked everyone except you. How would you respond? Using a negative question. Didn't you want to say hello to me? Or you can say, didn't you see me? Okay, this is the question. 5, classes start at 8 o'clock. It's 8:30 and your brother is still in bed. So how would you ask him? Or your brother the negative question. How can we form it? Aren't you going to school? He is already late. Aren't you going to school? Yalla, you have to go. Okay? 6, someone you don't know left a message on your cell phone. Someone you don't know. Your friend asks if you called back. What does the friend say? Aren't you going to call the person back? Aren't you going to call the person back so you can know who is or she is? Now for the last part of our grammar, we have be able to. When do we use able to? What does able to? We use able to express whether we can do something or we cannot do something. Something we can do or we can't do. This is how, when we use able to. Use able to express ability and talk and to talk about things you can or can't do. يعني ايش يا مس؟ He won't be able to play basketball today because he hurt his hand. Okay? And here we have, I wasn't able to come to the park because I had a previous appointment. Will you be able to go out with us tomorrow? Also, we can form a question with it. Okay? Be able to. Now let's look at the exercise. Exercise C. Work with a partner, ask and answer questions about the pictures. You have different pictures, I think in page 5. You have different pictures and you have a statement underneath. You have the name Hamid under the picture and he is doing something, okay? And you have Majda, you have players, students, Adnan, and football fans. You have to form a question using be able to and then write down the response. Like what, ya miss? Was Ahmed able to fix the car? Look at the picture. Was he able to fix the car? No, he wasn't. From the picture, I got the answer. No, he wasn't. Okay? Now let's look at it one by one. Hamid, Majda, take your time to answer these questions, looking at the pictures, asking the question using be able to, and write down the responses. And let's see the answers together. For number 1, was Hamid able to ride the horse? Yes, he was. When we look at the picture, he is riding the horse. Were the players able to play tennis? No, they weren't. Number 3, was Adnan able to drive the car? Yes, he was. Number 4, was Majda able to bake the cake? No, she wasn't. 5, were the children able to get good grades? Yes, they were. 6, were the football fans able to get tickets? No, they weren't. Okay, this is how we answer this exercise. Now for your homework, I want you to do page 90 and 91. If we want to recall what we covered in our lesson today, we learned how can we form tag questions. When we are writing positive statements, we use a negative tag. And when we use a negative statement, we use a positive tag. And we learned why do we use it to confirm information. And also we learned how we form negative questions to confirm a statement or to express surprise. And the last part, we learned how can we use be able to express ability of doing something or something we can't do. That's it for today. Thank you for listening, and inshallah I will see you next class.